Welcome back, everybody. We are in podcast number 3, also known as podcast número 3. That's all the Spanish I know right there. This week, or today, we have another special guest in the house. No, it's not you, Kyle. It could be Tiff, but it is not her today. It is Mr. Gabe Pope.
Oh,
really, Tiff?
That was
really, Tiff?
It was supposed to be the clappies.
Yeah.
Did we not have any clappies?
Tiff's job, we do. It's right here.
Oh.
It's that one.
That's better.
Right there. That's the clap one. Turn it up a little bit.
Well, maybe Gabe's funny too, though. So we have.
Well,
Can be
depending on the conversations that him and Kyle have on the boat, it can be pretty funny. But
probably don't want to hear those.
Gabe, yeah, no, those we'll save those. What happens on the camera boat stays on the camera boat.
Agreed.
Yeah,
100%.
probably better that way for both of you and everyone involved and everyone listening. But Gabe is from South Carolina. I'm gonna let him do most of the talking, but introduce him a little bit. He is our camera boat driver this week here at Santee Cooper. You guys are listening to this. We're busting out this podcast today. This is actually supposed to be day 3 of the Bassmaster Elite Series event, but we have a weather delay. So they postponed today. We are currently sitting in second place. We've got about a 7.5 pound deficit behind Drew Cook. That's a lot of ground to make up, but it is possible. And tomorrow is going to be a shootout. So the top 47 guys normally would have fished today, but since they postponed it, all 47 are fishing tomorrow, which should have been just the top 10. It's going to be interesting. I have seen in the past where guys such as Aaron Martins have come back from 23rd and win the event. I remember that one well because he beat me in Fighter. Fighter beat me by an ounce, and he beat both of us by several pounds. That's less likely to happen here just because the weights are so much further apart. Champlain, they're super tight. But it is possible. Crazy things could happen tomorrow. It's going to be an exciting event. Kind of bummed out that we didn't fish today because I would have liked to cut that deficit of 7.5 pounds down a little bit, but it also gave us the opportunity for another podcast. So here we are. And Gabe's with us because, well, he didn't have Kyle to drive around today. Had nothing else better to do. So he's going to hang out with us and chat. First met Gabe actually at the same tournament that we got Bella. Fun little fact, which was just down the road at Winyah Bay in Georgetown, South Carolina. So actually, what year was that? 14, 15?
16.
6 years
16?
ago.
Yeah, it was 16.
Oh,
16.
gosh, it is. Yeah, 16 would have been. Man, it is 2022. Yeah, so 2016. Bella's over there staring at us like, let me in, guys. We got her locked through the little glass door on the other side in the camper. She's not very pumped about it. Feels left out. But yeah, we've known Gabe for a long time. And you were young then. 18. You had just graduated, right? Or were you in your
16. I was 17 or 18.
Yeah. You probably had like a couple months left of school.
Yes, I did actually, because that was my senior year. I remember that.
Yeah, it was like right around your spring break, probably.
Yeah, pretty much.
Took your spring break and hung out at a Bassmaster Elite Series event.
Exactly. Got to meet you.
That's how he knows he's hardcore. Could have went to the beach instead. He's at Winyah Bay.
My spring break was a lot different.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I don't think that's going to be PG enough for all of us.
Yeah.
We don't need to go into
sure.
Kyle's spring breaks either. But that is that's where we're at. It's what we're doing today. We've gotten a lot of work done today. We've uploaded some YouTube videos, uploaded the recap for the Harris Chain presented by Midway USA. Shot some videos with bass, shot some photos with bass, shot some more videos with bass. What else did we do today? Snacked.
I didn't do too much work.
No, you snacked a lot.
I did have a few snacks.
Built a nice little edit this morning.
Yeah.
What else did we do today? Me and Tiff went on a nice little walk. Just kind of been a relaxing day, but a relaxing day of
You did a lot
work.
of interviews.
Yeah, lots of interviewing. It's like normally we'd be fishing, and then you have an off day. They need to supplement content and stuff that they're not going to get from on the water. So we end up shooting a bunch of random stuff with bass, but it's good, like extra content that you wouldn't normally get or see. So it's super cool. And that leaves us here at this podcast. Is that your new podcast stance, Kyle?
I feel like it's kind of got a good
You like
vibe.
lean back and you're just going to hold the mic.
Well, I just want to like give
Oh.
Gabe.
Like you're going to sing us. Oh, you're going to give him good facial recognition.
Yeah, you know.
My
That's
face
good.
ain't much to look at anyway, so
Yeah.
it's all good.
We won't get into that. You did cut your hair though.
I did.
Let's start with that.
Yeah.
Tell us why you cut your hair. What happened
That's
last
the
week?
classic.
Yeah, so Gabe was our boat driver at the Classic as well. So this podcast, the video for the Classic probably won't be out by the time this podcast comes out. Maybe.
Don't tempt me like that. I might get it done.
I
in 2
bet I
days.
get this podcast out before Kyle gets the Classic video out.
Not a chance.
So you probably won't get to see him in that video yet, but you can see him in the other videos. He's in the other ones. He's camera boat driver in 2018 at the Bassmaster Classic on Hartwell.
2020.
He was camera boat driver here at Santee Cooper in 2020 when we won, and then 2 weeks ago at Hartwell, and here again at Santee Cooper. But at Hartwell, you had hair that was down to your shoulders.
Yeah, it was pretty long.
Now you can barely see it past your hat. What happened?
I was riding a dirt bike. Kind of took a corner a little bit too fast. Saw my dog kind of swerve and miss him. Hit a patch of dead leaves and flipped over the handlebars and broke my collarbone. So I had to cut my hair because I could not hardly reach up and wash it.
And this was exactly a week ago.
Yeah,
He broke his collarbone, and he's driving boat for us,
Yeah,
one-handed.
one-handed,
pretty
like a
much.
champ.
Yeah.
He's the only dude that was happy that they postponed today.
He's like,
It was supposed to blow really hard this afternoon.
I was going to deal with it, but
Yeah, I mean, you're a trooper. We know that by now, but that would have been a lot more painful.
I would have had to carry the sling with me and wear the sling while I was driving it back.
what are the odds? Like, what would it take for me to have to drive the boat back?
On this body of water.
Yeah, especially on this one, I'd
Loaded on the trailer.
I'd probably get like shot, and I would still drive it back.
Both his arms got eaten by an alligator.
He'd still drive with his mouth.
He'd have one foot up on the steering wheel, other foot on the hot foot,
Yes,
driving
That would be
in
the way to do it.
5-footers.
I will give it to Gabe. He's quite the boat driver.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
I try to take care of him too.
And
you're-
he brings snacks over every. If you're ever a boat driver, try to compete with Gabe's snacks. You're gonna be tough to. That's a tough one to beat.
Well, I appreciate that.
He opened up. I think it was the first
are
day
they
of
Joe's
Santee.
snacks or are they Gabe's snacks?
There, Gabe brought snacks for the
Gabe.
Classic.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, and waters. It's impressive.
I did bring cake today, but we did not get into that.
Oh, well, we could have
Championship
brought it here.
cake for Sunday.
just kidding.
Championship cake. Red velvet. I bet it's red velvet
It
cake.
is red velvet. I'll have it all for tomorrow.
We went to Miss Joe and Mr. Greg's house last night for dinner. We were tempted with red velvet cake, but we already had cut ice cream. So
And
Skipped
a
it.
full-on buffet of dinner.
yeah, I think I had like 4 different types of meat.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of good stuff.
Full on meat
Why
sweats.
are you smiling?
I just thought of meat sweats.
Did you get the meat sweats?
I did.
You didn't eat enough meat to
I
get the meat sweats.
didn't have enough meat.
I
to-
did.
Yeah.
I had the meat sweats when I woke up this morning. The meat was in there just in my belly going,
Get me out.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And that's where I was sitting. So you've been rolling around for a week with a broken collarbone, and they said no surgery.
Yeah,
You're good.
luckily no surgery because it was a clean break, so I didn't have to get surgery to put it back in line.
And luckily, you're left-handed and you broke the right side.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Nice. You don't have to switch hit when you're writing papers at your dealership.
yeah, no, not at all.
Good.
Plus, I cast left-handed, so that's good. All I got to do is kind of hold my hand there and just kind of move the wrist to reel it.
There you go.
See?
Yeah.
He's got it all figured out.
Exactly. I've been thinking about
You-
this in advance.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna, yeah. But it's staring at me like it. Yeah. I'm not gonna go there.
I gave Kyle ample opportunity right there, but he didn't budge.
Nope.
I'm impressed.
You do not look comfortable.
We're testing him.
I feel like Gabe's our guest. I gotta give him a good view.
It's good.
FaceTime.
Normally we put you in the back.
I'm in the corner normally. Gabe's in my corner.
Yeah. I just realized that.
Yeah.
I would have switched that up if we wouldn't have started already. So this one is pretty open-ended like every other one. I don't come into these podcasts with specific topics. We just kind of roll with the punches, and whatever I think of, we kind of go with. So my first question is going to be for Gabe, because I'm curious on this. You've drove camera boat following me around probably nearly as much as anybody now at this point. You might be the record holder. Has anyone done?
No, I think
More than
Nathan,
4?
Nathan holds the record.
How many's
He
Nathan?
had like 4 in 1
Nathan.
year.
Yeah,
Didn't he?
he had like 3 1 year. Russell's probably in second, or maybe tied for second now with Gabe.
I think Russell's done 3. Two
Russell's done-
Chickamaugas and Smith.
Yep. You might have just moved into
Dallas
second place.
has done 2.
I know Nathan's
Nathan's
probably
done
leading.
like 5.
Yeah,
Dallas
he's
has
done up north too.
3, right?
Oh, 'cause he did the
He did
Classic.
4 twice in the classic.
yeah.
True.
So Dallas has done 3. He'll be at 4 this year
Dang.
because he's gonna do fork.
Nathan's gonna pick one up, isn't he? Are we gonna maybe? I don't know.
Might be at Pickwick. He might hold his lead.
Dang. Competition.
Gabe's gonna have to start traveling.
We have a pretty
Yeah, but-
stout lineup for boat drivers this year, I have to say.
We do.
I'm going to have to go to Oahe. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're gonna drive all the way over there.
Yeah.
You're gonna pick the furthest one away from your house.
Exactly. That's the only one I know you don't have one for.
I know. We did talk about.
We need like a championship belt, like a WWE for like boat driver.
Yeah,
Just pass that around to whoever's.
like holds the most
Yeah.
or like goes above and beyond.
Yeah. No, I feel like you need the most. Because if you're doing the most tournaments, you're obviously doing pretty good with it.
Yeah, or you just have the ability to go do that.
True.
You're a nomad like us. So, back to my question before we get down another rabbit hole, sidetracked. What I'm trying to think how to word this. Since you have, I don't know how many days it is, but you've done 4 tournaments now. What's like the biggest thing that you learned or witnessed in those 4 events?
Just watching you, the amount of dedication that y'all have
Yeah.
towards one spot and how long y'all stay on it, honestly.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing I took. Just watching you literally dissect a spot and not move from there like 200 yards in 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's like,
And it may not be that I get what you're saying, because there's a lot of times I'll find an area and I'll just make circles in that area.
Yeah.
Or I bounce around like a ping pong ball. So it's like a 200-yard square and I'm just bouncing around, hitting every piece of cover, brush pile, stump, tree, grass line, whatever. But I just make circles in that area. Oddly enough, it seems like those are the events that I do the best. And that's usually how you do really good in Florida. And usually I don't do well in Florida.
Does that have to do with just the amount of time that you are actually fishing versus going to spots?
That has something to do with it. I think a lot of it has to do with as anglers, we always fish and bypass way more bass than what we catch. So as you're competing, you're constantly moving, you're constantly bypassing bass. But if you are locked down in an area, and area is just kind of relative, right? But it's not like when Gabe says a spot, it's not like I'm making one cast. Like I'm not fishing one brush pile for several hours, but I will stay in an area for several hours and do different things. I'm actually doing that this week. I'm fishing we'll say it's an area. It's 1 mile to 2 square miles, so I'm not running a lot. I'm burning, I don't know, 10 gallons of fuel, 11 gallons of fuel a day. So like by the time I get to that area, I spend a lot of time on the trolling motor, which means you are spending more time making more casts, giving yourself more opportunity. I've never seen anybody catch a bass when they're driving 70. I mean, I'm up for the challenge, but I've just never seen it happen. And I think that oftentimes that leads into good events. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Sometimes you're running a pattern, you may fish the entire lake. But oftentimes when you find an area that is very healthy, just seems more lively. The area I'm fishing this week on Santee Cooper just seems like it's got a little bit more grass and it's got all the right things. I always look for areas that I can adapt and change in. And that's been the biggest key for me, is being able to look and say, hey, I can fish a little bit offshore for an hour. I can go to the bank and I can flip. I can go sight fish. I can do all of these different things in one area without burning a bunch of fuel, which is a good thing when gas prices are almost $5 a gallon. So it's a win-win. That's an interesting observation. Anything else?
I guess
Putting him on the spot.
Yeah. I had just thought about it. I had to rethink about it for a second because I was like dialed into your conversation.
I was like, what? Anything else on what? I was confused on that.
But it would be definitely the focus y'all have.
Yeah.
Like even like when we're out there camera boat, we're like behind you. It depends on how far and stuff like that. You'll have like carp blowing up all the way around, and even at like Hartwell. I know I can talk about this tournament now. Hartwell, you were dialed into your graphs, just watching them constantly, and there'd be fish blowing up to your left and right, and you're not even looking at them.
Oh yeah, and that's a good one. We'll talk about that one for a sec. At Hartwell, it's really easy to just chase those schoolers. The problem is that by the time you get to where they're blowing up, then they start blowing up where you just came from. So what I learned a long time ago is like, I just have to block out those ones that are blowing up as long as I'm still seeing bass. Right. So if I can see fish on my graphs and I'm chasing them around, oftentimes like I'll just keep kind of fishing on those ones and staying on those ones. And you kind of have to play a patience game and just stay focused, like put blinders on to those fish that are blowing up, because you don't know when the fish right in front of you are going to start blowing up. It could be 2 minutes from now. It could be 30 seconds from now. But I always see it like I kick the troll motor on high and I take off for the fish that are blowing up, and then it never fails. They start blowing up right where you left. I know people have seen that before. So I try to just not get caught up in trying to chase those fish that are schooling, because it never seems like it works out. Now, if you're just driving down the lake and you see fish start blowing up, yeah, pull in and try to catch them. But if you're already fishing and you're fishing like a school of bass, then I just try to stick with them.
I feel like most of the bass that you catch when they're schooling are the ones that are within a cast distance.
100%.
And you throw over there and they're still schooling when your bait gets to them. And then it just works. But whenever you have to troll over and you just kick it in 10 and try to get there, I don't think I've ever seen you catch a bass like that.
Remember at the
Not very
Hartwell
often.
Classic, I think is the first one you fished.
That was the first one. Gabe was camera boat driver when Jay Siemens filmed for us. It was 18.
When we were on the boat following you.
Yeah, and I was in the back of the pocket.
And after the tournament was over, we're like, okay, we've been dying to tell you. Like, we knew we couldn't talk about it during the tournament, but now that it's over, you missed all these schooling fish. Like your mom and I were so distraught because we could see him schooling all around us. And we're like, how is he not seeing this? And you're like, oh no, I knew they were there.
Mm-hmm.
Just interesting that.
Yeah. And it depends. It's so situational. But at Hartwell, it seems like you're always around so many fish that it does more damage than good to go chase them. Now, if they're just constantly schooling and the fish that you're trying to catch aren't biting, you should probably go investigate the situation. But it's so situational. There's no like right or wrong answer for that. It's like everything else in fishing.
Yeah.
You're just living in the gray.
There's no rules to it. There's no like absolutes.
No. They're like, what would you call it? Yeah, they're not black and white rules. They're more suggestions.
Exactly.
Like everything's a suggestion. Like, I mean, yeah, that could work in that situation, but it's not a guarantee to just go with it. What do you do for work, Gabe?
I am actually a outboard motor technician. I work down at Marshall's Marine in Georgetown. I don't know if I'm able to say that or not.
Yeah. You can say wherever you want.
Okay. So
Wherever you work.
They can even sponsor this if they want to.
But yes, Marshall's Marine down there in Georgetown. They're a good family, good group of people. I've worked for them for about 7 years now, I think.
Yeah. They're a Yamaha dealer, aren't they?
They are a Yamaha dealer, primarily Yamaha. We do handle a little bit in the competitor, but we don't like them.
Did he pay you?
Yeah.
No, he did not.
I mean, hey, that's him. He's the mechanic, not me.
I see more troubles out of them. So
you've been to the Yamaha school.
I have.
You're getting close to Master Tech, right?
I've been. I think I got like 6 degrees. I could be up one. Not 100% on that. And I don't want to add them up right now, but I am one more, which will be this winter. I got to go for advanced troubleshooting, and then I'll be eligible to take the Master Tech test, whether or not I pass it or not.
Yeah, it's not easy to pass.
No, there's I think only like 200 or 300 have it in the United States.
Dang.
So it is a title to have.
I knew it was hard, but I didn't realize it was that like
intense,
prestigious.
Because it's like a buildup of all the courses rolled into one. It's like a 50 question test, and you got to take it in like a half hour or something like that.
You got to remember all the stuff that you learned over
so like you don't
5 years.
And it's open book, but like you don't have time. You take a time flipping through a book, you're going to run out of time.
Yeah. It's open book the size of the dictionary.
Yeah. And then right after that, you got to take 3 courses, hands-on courses. You got 30 minutes each. And you got to pass like 3 3 out of the 4, something like that.
Like they just give you scenarios on like, here you have to do this in 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm. It'll be something like shimming a lower unit. You got to make sure it's shimmed right, and if you can't shim it right, you got to explain why. That type of stuff.
Oh wow,
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool though that it's situational,
mm-hmm.
hands-on.
And it's randomly drawn, so like you never know exactly what you will get. Mm-hmm. So like you can do it 2 years in a row, or you can even do it 2 weeks back to back.
Yeah.
And you won't have the same courses each time. So you gotta know what you're doing.
That's good.
Yeah.
They make you change a whole power head in 30 minutes.
Oh, I don't know if I can even do that, even no matter how skilled I was.
No, there's very few guys. I have watched the service crews on the road knock down, tear down, and rebuild a power head in like under an hour for sure.
They're all master techs, right? Like,
yeah, those guys. I mean, they're like the best of the best.
They're like Navy SEALs,
and they like when you come in. And I say I've watched him do that. I've only ever seen one Yamaha, I think, in my 12 years that they've done that on. Okay. And it was back in 2011. I haven't seen him do one since then. So
who was it?
Impressive.
That's a long time ago. And
yeah,
you're getting old.
I don't remember. There's a lot of tournaments between now and then. I can't remember.
Dang.
It was a while ago. But it's like, I mean, they're like a NASCAR pit crew.
You say that's NASCAR style.
That was the first year. So were you like, whoa?
I was amazed at how fast those guys move. Because I'm like, man, it takes me forever at the dealership. It takes like 2 weeks. But they're also like sitting there waiting for the boat to show up versus the dealer has like 50 boats lined up in front of you. So that's slightly different. Right, Gabe?
Very true on
Say,
that.
Gabe,
You're not
Gabe,
just
why
sitting
don't you
around
do that fast? Then?
twiddling your thumbs.
Oh, they'll literally like roll up sometimes, like in the parking lot, and just be like, "Yeah, I got this problem with my motor, like it won't pee," like just something stupid like that.
Yeah.
And they expect to have it done like right then and there, and they call back like the next day, and it's just
Well, they're usually self-inflicted problems.
oh yeah,
Like, I'm-
90% of everything is self-inflicted.
This one was, I think I remember. I think it was at the Arkansas River, and someone had just like ran straight through a mud stump muck field and just plugged every water port full of mud and sand. Happens to not be good for your motor.
No.
If it can't get water, it
Imagine
can't
that.
cool down, and it actually overheats. I don't know if you know that. If you keep running it when the overheat alarm's going on.
You
Doesn't-
know,
doesn't
you
do
know
well.
about this, didn't you? Ask this question.
The
before?
overheat alarm? I did. Yeah, we'll go into a little story time. This is actually with one of the guys that is on the service crew for the elites now. And this was the Bass Nation Championship that I won at the Red River. And I had found this backwater pond on Google Earth. And I waited until day 3 of practice to go look at it. And fishing was super tough. Like, it was hard to catch a limit. And I pull up to it in the afternoon, and it's just packed full of hyacinth mats. So I try to drive my boat in, I try to get in on the trolling motor. That doesn't work. I was young and dumb, so learn from my mistakes here. I thought, and I'll preface this with, I had never seen a hyacinth mat in my life at this point. We don't have hyacinth in Idaho. So I didn't understand like how durable a hyacinth mat is. It's like driving into concrete when they're all together. And it's fall time, so that hyacinth mat had been built all summer long. So it was one of those thick, gnarly ones. And I was like, I'll just leave the trolling motor down, use the big motor and push it out of the way. Nah. Bent the shaft on the trolling motor. So pick the trolling motor up, decide I'll just drive in with the big motor. Nope, that doesn't work. I just drove on top of the mat and then ran out of water for the motor. So I back off the mat, and then I get down on my hands and my knees on the front deck, and I start digging a trench through the hyacinth mats. And as I'm throwing the mats out of the way, there's spiders and snakes and alligators and all kinds of stuff scurrying out of these mats, right? But I was 22 years old, and I'm like, I'm going to do whatever I got to do to get into this backwater pond. I'm not quite that ballsy at this point, but then I didn't really care what it took. I was like, I'll fix that later. Long story short, I get in there, and I make one pass down one side, and I end up getting bit. And I call my buddy Bill Golightly, and he comes up and he comes in there with me. We were working together. We were actually fishing against each other. He was fishing for Wyoming, and I was fishing for Idaho. And back then they did it based on your region. You had to, whoever won for your region made it to the classic. So we're competing against each other, but I call him like, hey, we can get into this pond. He takes one side, I take the other. We both shake off a limit, and we meet back at the entrance, and we had to go back to check in. And we're like, holy cow, one of us is going to win in here. And we just knew like it was way too easy in there versus how hard it was out in the river. The nice part is that when we left there, the hyacinth mat just closed back in behind us. So you couldn't ever tell that we were in there, but we had built enough of a trail that you could then drive in and out with your big motor. But it looked like it was still a full hyacinth mat. And I remember going to the Yamaha trailer and asking them if they could cut the overheat alarm on my boat because it was annoying. Because the whole time driving in and out of there, it took me about 30 minutes on the big motor to get in there. Because you're jumping logs and like it's really shallow. You're blowing mud. So that overheat alarm's like, me. I mean, it's a lot louder than that, but I'm not going to blow everyone's eardrums out. It's pretty much the most annoying sound in the world. That's actually, I think, the sound that Dumb and Dumber used.
They mimicked it.
Yeah, they're like, let's take an outboard hot water overheat alarm, and we'll just use that. He tells me no, it's there for a reason, obviously. So my next question was, how long can I run the motor with the overheat alarm before it causes problems? Now, I do not suggest this. Do not do this. This will void your warranty. But I was able to run it long enough to get in and out. And it worked. So just know that every decision has a consequence.
You can win the Bass Nation.
You may win. You may win, but you may also have to pay the price and pay for a new motor. If that happens, if you blow it up. I didn't blow it up. I didn't blow mine up. It worked. But I was able to get in and out. And back then they put the alarm was under the dash. And so you could just, and it's like this little round piece, almost like a speaker. And I could just stick my hand on it and it would dumb it down. So instead of being super loud, it'd just be like, and it was super annoying to me because I could still hear it. But then at least everyone else that was fishing couldn't hear it going off.
Like, what's this idiot doing?
Yeah, like where is he and where is that sound coming from? I mean, obviously, like they could have seen the mud flying and everything, but I won and made the elites. If I would have never done that, I might not be here.
Dang. How'd your buddy do? I'm curious.
He finished second.
Dang, 1 and 2'd it.
Yeah, 1 and 2. 1 and 2. And
now it's stretched out, right?
Yeah. He didn't, so because of the way it was set up then, we were actually competing against each other
for the region,
for the Western region, and we finished 1 and 2. He didn't get to go to the Classic or make the elites. Now it's just
one for
1, 2. Well, it's 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
Top goes to the elites, and then 2 and 3 go to the Classic.
Dang.
So, yeah. But shout out to Bill. He's one of the best dudes I know. One of the nicest people I know. I haven't got to see him in a long time.
Where's he from?
Good dude.
Wyoming?
Preston, Idaho.
Oh.
Yeah. But because he lives closer to all of the Wyoming state tournaments than he does the Idaho ones because he's so far in like eastern Idaho. It's shaped like a little boot.
How many guys have got into the Bass Nation? Like that national tournament?
From Idaho or just total?
Just I mean, I feel like
I was the first.
Okay.
I was the first guy to accept the invitation. And let's see, there's been me. Gosh, I hope I don't miss someone.
Mueller?
There's been me. There's been Mueller.
From Connecticut.
Yep. Summerall.
I thought Iaconelli was a nation guy.
Iaconelli won the nation back in 99.
Oh, but he
also on the Red River. Same place I won it. But he didn't make
because
the
of that.
top level, because of that. But he did win the nation then. 99. Who else is
Maddie
made it? Maddie Wong. There's so many more.
You think what? 10
Why am I drawing
to
a blank
12
on this? I feel like Okamika.
Yeah.
Daryl Okamika made it. I'm like drawing blanks on guys that have made it the last few years.
But is it a lot? Well, I guess Caleb's from Louisiana.
There's only one guy a year.
But I feel like it's like a pretty good route for guys from the West Coast.
It's really our only route.
I was going to say.
Because we don't have any opens.
Yeah.
So for a guy to travel from the West, you end up spending twice as much of time because it takes you a week to travel there and back.
Yeah.
So you have a week of travel, a week of the tournament, and then you have 3 tournaments if you fish just one series.
Mm-hmm.
And that's super hard to qualify in just one series. So a guy has to be able to take 6 weeks off of work
Matt Roberts
just to fish.
was he a nation guy?
No. Robertson made it. He
The
fished
opens.
the nation, but he made it through
Opens.
through the opens.
Dang.
Yep. Why am I drawing a blank on that?
There's got to be a list somewhere, but yeah.
It's gonna drive me nuts.
It's one of those things you'll like wake up and think about it.
Yeah, because I know there's more guys. I'm sorry, guys.
Shout out to Bass Nation.
I'm sorry for who I'm forgetting. Gabe, you fished Bass Nation, right? You fished some of it.
The South Carolina Trail, I do.
Yeah. How do they do it in South Carolina? Is it one state championship and then they take the top guys, or is it split into regions? Is there several tournaments?
So as far as I know, because actually Walker has done it and made it to nationals.
Oh, really?
Walker has. So I know because of him.
Yeah.
And I almost made it back in 19. Ended up getting beat out on the last tournament. But anyway, so you have 5 tournaments throughout the year. And then, of course, if you do good points-wise, they take the top 5 boaters and non-boaters.
Okay.
And then they'll take those and put them on the state team.
Yep.
Then you also have the 6-man team, which is you have to at least fish one nation event to qualify for the 6-man team. And you have to have a club. You have to have a minimum of 6 people.
Okay.
And actually, if you place top 6 in that tournament, you go on to the state team as well. So then
that's where they get their other.
So that's when they get their
the other half. Or,
Yep. And they'll
other
take
third.
those to the regionals.
Yep.
And then, of course, if you win out everybody in South Carolina, then you move on to nationals.
Yep.
And you
So,
know how it goes.
Yeah. So there's 2. You guys have 2 ways to qualify in South Carolina,
Yes.
essentially,
hmm
through the 5 tournament point system or the 6-man team deal.
Yeah. One more,
Right.
too. You have the national championship, too. They call it the national, I guess the state championship. I think they take the top 2, I think.
And you have to qualify for that.
Yes. So if you, I think it's like a 2-day event.
Yeah.
And if you end up winning it or placing second, they take you as well.
Dang.
So instead of having to like beat out, because this year was actually at Clarks Hill,
Mm-hmm.
and there was like 215 boats or 215 people.
Yeah. That's cool. That's one of the cool things about the Bass Nation is every state has their own federation chapter, and they can run it however they choose
Oh, really?
to qualify. Yeah.
But they're allotted a certain amount of qualifiers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you have a certain amount. You're essentially building your state team because your team is also competing when you go to regionals. You can win as a team, and you get
Funding.
like you win a boat,
Oh, okay.
and then the state team can sell that boat and use it for funding for projects for the next year and stuff
That is
for
cool.
your state for your state. Oh yeah, there we go.
Those 2?
Pat Schlapper. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Schlapper's in
last year.
5th.
Yeah, he had like a
Nation
he had
guys
a
are
big,
hammers.
He had a big yesterday.
Yeah, I was like, I know there's more guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pat Schlapper. He made
Was
it.
he one?
No, Caleb made it through the opens.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's a bunch of really good guys.
It's crazy, though. One of the things, this is kind of a little bit off topic, to see, and I think we were talking about it yesterday, some of the new guys coming in to the elites and seeing how not only they're surviving, they're adapting and getting better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're becoming more known in terms of they're consistently finishing in high places, which is cool to see. I think for the Elite Series is you kind of getting these new characters after, the whole switch and everything. But it's cool to see. It's cool to see.
I think the learning curve is just so much less now.
Yeah.
When you look at it, guys are starting out with so much more knowledge than before.
Yep.
And I know it's changed just in the 12 years that I've done it. I mean, and I think a lot of that has to do with technology, right? Bass Live, all the different media platforms that we have that there's able to be information.
Yep.
I mean, super informative podcasts like this one.
Really crazy informative.
We're more of a conversational. No, Bob didn't make it. Bob made it through the opens. Remember we saw Bob
Bob
sleeping
down
in
here.
his tent
I know I did.
in the
I
opens.
do remember that.
We need to get Bob on here.
Bob's one of my
Heard he
favorite.
left.
Like he's just like he like does his job. He's quiet, but he just a hammer.
Yeah. You can definitely catch him. Didn't have a good week this week, but he crushed him.
But look,
He smoked us at the St. Johns River.
oh yeah,
We're fishing the
Insane
same
area.
pattern, and he smoked me. Made me look like I didn't know what I was doing. Made the top
Did
10,
you?
and he's no.
fishing's kind of
Very
funny
rarely
like
do I
that, though.
actually know what I'm doing. I'm just making a lot of educated guesses. Day 4 takeoff, 16 hours and 18 minutes from now.
Yeah. How do you have you got to look at the new website?
I did a little bit. I like it, I think.
I think I do too. Now that my thumb
It's
isn't
clean.
covering like where Bass Track
Yeah.
is, and I'm not like searching for it. I'm like, where's Bass Track? My thumb was covering it.
I feel like, change is always hard for people.
Yeah.
So people are like, oh, I hate the new website. But it's just because they spent so much time on the old one that they knew
Yeah.
exactly. Everything was muscle memory. But I think this one,
It's better.
It's pretty obvious.
is.
Like this one is like this is how you get around
And-
this.
yeah, very straightforward.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But on Bass Track, you can see they have it set up to where you can keep it on your phone, like the little screen of live, while you scroll through Bass Track.
Oh really?
Yeah. The SEO and everything's better on it too.
I'm
I think
sure.
all the back end's better. It runs more fluid, everything. And I believe there's more things that'll be rolling out with it. I don't think they have everything out, because I know they gave us a little preview back in December at our bass meeting.
Mm.
And I haven't spent a bunch of time. This is the first week, right? that
Yeah.
it launched.
Yeah, because when you went on live on Thursday, I was like, oh gosh, I don't know what's going on.
You couldn't find it. I think that, yeah, this is the first week, but from what I've seen, it's way better. What? No, I wasn't. No, you were. I just
You're
was
like-
turning your volume down because you got closer to the mic again. Before you were talking away from the mic, so I turned it up a little bit.
Oh,
So you're
sorry.
even. You're fine.
I-
That's
I'm fighting a cold and I didn't want to go like
Yeah.
cough into the mic.
we'll make sure to sanitize that mic before we have someone else in here.
Or if it's Carl, we'll just leave it. Is that cool?
Taking out the competition one at a time.
Oh,
No, you can't get that baby sick.
Good point.
true.
Baby Riva.
Riva.
Riva. I don't know how he just says river now.
I think he says
Riva.
river like the most American way I've ever heard him say river.
Yeah, it sounds
We'll
way
ask
more
him about
Or
American.
most
Yeah.
English. I
We'll ask
guess.
him about that. I think he's going to be on the next podcast. So ask him about that.
Yeah.
Do you want to fish for a living, Gabe?
100%. Yeah. Just gotta kind of get a little bit more free time, kind of get more practice days in on the water.
Yeah. So everyone in South Carolina, quit hitting stumps and breaking your boat so Gabe can fish more. But keep hitting them stumps enough that he's got enough work he can pay for his
Just
own boat
enough.
fuel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just enough to kind of let me scrounge out a few weeks worth of work, and then just hit fishing hard.
Yeah, and then quit. Take a month off hitting them stumps so he can go fish.
Yeah.
What is your PB, Gabe?
Bass.
Yeah.
I think mine is actually close to what Brandon caught yesterday.
Okay.
I think mine was 810,
Okay.
if I'm exact.
Okay.
So he's actually beat me out yesterday.
Got you
had
by
an
2 ounces.
812? You had 812, yeah.
Yeah, an 812 yesterday. That was insane.
It's a big fish. Sight
That's-
fished.
That's the biggest fish I've caught off of bed.
What's the biggest one they caught this tournament so far? Is 9?
910.
Nine.
Yeah,
910?
yesterday. That was the one that beat you for the
I
big
wonder
fish
if
of the day.
That was Pat.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. Yeah, Pat Schlapper.
Did you know without that 8-pound fish,
What
you would
place
have
he'd be in?
been in 15th place?
No.
Yeah, I believe it would. Yeah, take 6 pounds off.
Oh, so,
Yeah, take 6 pounds
I
off.
took 8. Sorry.
Take-
Wait, wasn't it in 812?
Yeah, but I
he
pulled the 2 pounder out.
two-pounder
Oh,
out.
you did have a limit. Never mind.
So yeah,
You're-
like
you'd
six
be
and a half
top 10.
pounds.
Yeah, you'd
Yeah.
still be like top 10.
Yeah. I still would have been top 10, but I would not have had a shot to win.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Now I have a legitimate shot to win.
Oh, yeah.
It's a far shot.
It's not even that far, I hear.
I mean, I make
Like-
1,000-yard shots with my rifle, so I mean, I feel like I got a shot.
Hey, I'll give it to you. I wouldn't bet against you at this point.
Yeah.
Him and Santee Cooper's got some good history so far.
Yeah, why is remember
I'm batting 1 for 1 at
remember
Santee.
last year? Were you in the conversation at all before he went out that first day and he was like, "Oh, this is gonna be really bad in 2020"?
That's what I'm calling the BP
I think he
head
called
fake.
me the night before, and he was like, "I don't know if I'm going to even catch a bass tomorrow."
Yeah. Okay, so you were in on that conversation.
Yeah.
That's why
Because that was how it was
adaptability
all
is so
week.
important.
Yes. I was actually really proud of you when I was watching you and you were like making decisions. What?
Oh, I've been full of changes this week.
Yeah. You can see it. I mean, I can't say much.
You can see it by like my
Like
demeanor
watching
or
live, I
like
could see you
physically
making-
watching me change 37 different baits
Oh.
while I'm bed fishing.
Yeah, and you know what else I found was very interesting is like you're so meticulous. And I guess maybe because it keeps you prepared, but you like wrap your line. I'm like, just grab the next rod.
No.
You wrap the line around your guides every
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
Is that
But
just
how
a
quick
deep-
does it happen?
Very quick.
Quick.
Yeah.
But it keeps it from
It happens
tangling.
as it's going down. Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you go to pick it up, it just comes out. When you go running down the lake in 3-footers and you get to the next spot and you got 5 minutes to make a cast before check-in, you don't want to spend 4 minutes digging your rods out and be like, "Oh, I didn't even make a cast. I got to go."
Okay,
But
I
they just slide right
an
out.
interesting thing. I was thinking about this during the Olympics. Actually, I think I heard this from somebody. To do like an app, because like when people are in the elites or the Olympics or the top of whatever they do,
Mhm.
it looks so easy on TV.
Yeah.
Like looks so easy.
Yeah.
But like there was somebody that brought up the idea of like, let's do an average person Olympics or like an average person
Let's see what it
elites
looks like.
and have it on video and like imagine like
Yeah.
your guy that goes out once a week if he's lucky on the weekend or something and go fish these derbies and just to see the difference. Cause like when you guys are all out there, you guys are like catching them and it looks kind of easy and like in its own way. But like when somebody who doesn't or isn't functioning at the top of their game per se,
Yeah.
like the Olympics, like if I went out and tried to curl right now versus like, cause it looks so easy and I can the screen like, oh yeah, it's like shuffleboard on ice. But like for you guys to see an average person, those little details, like you're twirling your line around your rod saves you 2 seconds because your rods aren't just tangled to crap. And those kind of things are like the attention to detail and like the curlers, the people in like doing all kinds of sports, they have those like that attention to the tiniest detail that no one would think about that actually saves them like a period of time or makes them that much better. And those are the things I think that get skimmed over. That's really interesting to me because like I see you guys, I always think it'd be like funny to see like just for instance, me fishing, I'm below average, but to see like that process on a live camera and how quick it would just turn into total chaos.
It would be fun to watch. Like
It'd be comedy.
When you're talking about that in the Olympics, the first thing I thought of was the ski long jump.
Oh God.
Like you don't even make a turn. You literally just point her straight. Like you go down in the grooves, keep her straight, and you fly. Like that's what it looks like on TV. If I was to try to do that,
That is dangerous.
guaranteed I would eat it 15 feet down the ramp.
No, you would make it to the ramp, but when you were in the air, it would not look smooth. It would go full chaos.
Oh yeah, I would be a flapping penguin.
You would go windows down on the car.
100% windmill all the way. Feet. Well, I probably couldn't even move those skis with my feet.
If you had to do one Olympic sport,
but that's what it looks super easy when they do it because they've practiced tens of thousands of hours of how to fly, like their form, everything, and their timing. If I try to do it, man,
I think we'd all have to say goodbye to you.
I would
before that,
embarrass
just in
Eddie the
case.
Eagle.
Because you fly a long ways in those.
Yeah.
Like you're not just like, your landing is like crucial to survival.
Yeah. All of it. Think about the takeoff on that thing.
The takeoff wouldn't scare me. I mean, it would
Really?
scare me when I'm
The
in the
ramp
air.
would scare me.
The ramp would. But just imagine like the amount of time on TV, it looks like they're in the air for like 10 seconds. I jump off of a little cliff into the water.
Yeah.
And it's like a second, and it feels like I'm up there for a day.
Just think about not
all-
checking up. You're just looking at that ramp. You ever watch
Yeah.
Eddie the Eagle?
I didn't watch it, but I've seen the little yeah.
I forgot about that.
Those ramps
movie.
He just
big.
sends it.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Just straight.
What other
Full
sport?
send.
If you guys all had to choose a sport in the Olympics, what would you choose?
That we could compete in.
Just any sport.
Like we got all the training for it.
Yeah, summer or winter Olympics.
Ooh, you have to pick one of each.
And in this,
I'd say.
yeah, like, did you guys ever look at the? I think
Bow,
this
bow shooting.
bow shooting.
Oh yeah. I don't know what the technical term, competition bow shooting, I guess.
Dude, what? I've never even seen it.
I'd want to
Is
do
it like
the.
Do they shoot through like rings, or is it like actual like the
It's like-
archery like
So it's like the big
bullseye?
targets,
Okay.
and they got like, I guess whoever gets closest or like the 3 shots closest to the center.
It's on a point. So.
Oh, okay.
Like darts.
Yeah, it's
kinda.
like darts, but it's like giant darts.
I'd
like-
want to do the shooting.
The like
that-
But
ski
the
run?
rifles. No,
Just-
no. Like
Just running. And,
no,
I
not
don't know.
skeet, but
oh, okay.
like
like
the rifle, like
guns.
decathlon
like long-
style.
Oh,
like-
okay. That's pretty intense.
yeah, that'd be
Oh,
awesome.
you
I
guys
think.
are so you guys are
Accuracy.
doing Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
What's
that's
yours,
big.
Tiff?
I mean, I'd
What-
love to do like slope style or something.
I feel like I would want to be like a gymnast or a figure skater.
I knew you were gonna say figure skater. I don't know why.
pregnant figure skater.
Well, I think my gymnast and figure skating years passed like 30 years ago, but I think you have to start at a very young age. To
Were you a
be good.
gymnast when you were 4?
I never.
Is that when you quit gymnastics?
I never started because I had 2 older brothers that made fun of anything girly.
Dang.
Oh.
So you were like full tomboy.
I was full tomboy. Yeah, like no shirt most of the time, just shorts.
Just
the boys.
living the dream. She
like,
was
there's,
she was under the age of
I
7
had
or
a
something.
mullet.
You had a mullet.
Oh yeah.
We need a picture of Tiff's mullet.
Oh, my mom has.
Her mom
lots.
has lots. I've seen them.
Yeah, I remember vividly this picture of me with my shirt off, shorts, mud all over, and my mullet.
That's how they raise them in Troy.
It was Moscow, actually.
Oh, Moscow.
Was that during your
Well,
Bucky
we
years?
came from Fernwood. Well,
Oh,
yeah, I had straight teeth maybe in 6th grade.
But prior to that,
you got them all busted up.
No, he called me, but my brother
not
called
me. I didn't know you.
Bucky
In,
because my teeth were, but like,
they had a little forward
every,
angle.
Every kid has a little like teeth.
I
thing,
had
like,
a
when you're
gap
growing up.
and they stuck out quite a bit.
Yeah.
But
Like-
my brother had braces for 6 years and headgear, and I had them for 2 years. So I'm like, wait a second, how did I get the nickname? Because I was the youngest.
Because it's
I guess.
Randy.
Yeah. Now he found out about this. Brandon found out about my nickname. Now everyone else knows about
What's
that
your nickname, Bucky?
That's what he called me when he was mad at me. Yeah,
Dang.
my brother. Now Brandon likes to bring it
Now I
up.
like to just throw it out there.
Siblings know like the worst way to roust you.
Oh,
You know that?
they know to
Oh.
just dig.
They're just they know like the
I
point
had
to just
some
like
nicknames growing up.
Yeah. You have siblings, don't you, Gabe?
Yeah, I got one younger brother.
Yeah.
Oh, so
You
you're
guys
the
fight?
bully.
I am the bully. Yeah.
Have you guys ever been in like
like
full
a full-on
on-
fist fight?
yeah?
I don't think we've ever done like a full-on fist fight. We've kind
Yeah.
of just kept our distance. Now there was like the younger days whenever.
Yeah, you guys would like wrestle around, but
Yeah, and then I would get mad at him and just slap him on his back real hard. It's like I hardly hit
And
you.
they
And there's
just-
like the handprint on his back.
yeah. And then he just goes and cries to mom.
Yeah,
He hit me. No, I didn't. And he's
Yeah.
got a big giant handprint on his back.
Exactly.
Did you ever get in dragouts with your
Um,
brother?
I might have got we got in like pretty violent things, but like only one time we got like fist going.
Yeah.
I took the last slice of pizza and he was like you know when
It's always over something.
you know, like
stupid,
little
too.
brothers get to that age where they know they can test you. And my
Mhm.
little brother's like 16. I was like 18 or something.
Yeah.
And like that age, you're just kind of like, he was like just getting bigger to me. He'd finally got to the point where he got like the courage that he's
Yeah.
like, I could take this dude.
Yep.
And he did, and took the last pizza and he hit me right in the back of the head and knocked me out. And I got back up and like my dad stopped it in time. But yeah, that was the first, and yeah, little brothers, man.
I
They're
can
brutal.
I can imagine the look on
You and
Mr. Vandiver's face.
Oh
I
man,
feel like it was scary.
that was scary. Did
Such
you
a
and
nice teddy bear man, but in that moment,
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah,
Fear in your
vividly, I
eyes.
remember it. Yeah, there was a moment where there's fists cuffed and ready to go, and my dad was like, I had more fear of my dad than anything else in the world at that moment. But did you and Bree ever get into it?
No, yeah. No,
I feel like Bree's one I wouldn't mess with when she's mad.
she was the worst.
No offense, Bree, if you're listening to this.
Oh, she's gonna listen. She's gonna listen.
This is Brandon's music. Remember,
Yeah.
True.
Ridge wants to listen
Yeah.
to Brandon's music.
Yeah. Hi, Ridge. Hope you're enjoying this one.
Ridge, for the record, I didn't take your slide, by the way. Was it his slide?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle doesn't have your slide,
You didn't
Ridge.
borrow it.
I didn't borrow it.
You didn't borrow it.
Okay, but Bree, she
She would always like build out a plan. I felt like,
Plot.
yeah, she would like plot and scheme.
she'd like put you in a trap.
So, but yeah,
basically.
she was like a cat. You know how a cat will just like wait for its moment to pounce?
Yeah.
It was like that. I remember this one time she had just like, we had gotten into it and she had just waited until like things calmed down. And then you're like, oh yeah, we're good. Like whatever. And I was laying there just watching TV. And I think I was laying on my stomach and she came behind me, knee to the back of the head, double fish hook, straight to the lips. And if you don't know what a double fish hook is, it's like fingers in the side of in the corners of your lips, and then you pull them out.
That's like
Like
some
pull them
gangs
outward.
of New York
Yeah.
stuff.
So imagine that.
And you have sensitive lips. Or was this before that?
No, I mean, anyone has sensitive lips when you do that. So,
Ripping their face from sides.
yeah. But
Dang,
I mean,
Bree, no joke.
yeah, we got into some screaming matches.
I'm sure
But she's
she has
also one
some-
of my best friends.
Yeah, I'm sure she has some better stories of you being bullying her.
Oh,
This is like,
guaranteed.
we need to have her on the show so she can
Guaranteed.
back herself up.
No, she's welcome to come on anytime. Welcome to come on anytime. But I mean, I was also like I was the only boy. And so just my personality, I liked to push the buttons. Like to see how far I could push it. Didn't matter if it was my sisters or my mom. I was always
I feel like your mom was a saint raising you. I've heard
the fact that
stories-
I'm alive
Yeah,
makes her a saint.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like the fact that some of the, what is it? You just being a little devil child growing up.
Yeah, they thought I was the devil spawn.
Yeah.
I was that bad. That was terrible.
What
I
did you
guess.
do?
I mean,
What
I
did
don't
you
know.
do with the soap story?
Oh, so back when we were younger, when I'd back talk or say bad words or anything that came out of
the bad
my
words weren't always bad words. They're just words that your mom
Yeah.
doesn't like.
Yeah, but
we
I mean,
won't say them because she listens to this and she cringes. But
when anything came out of my mouth that shouldn't come out of my mouth, right? Disrespectful. So I deserved it. I would get soap in my mouth. So it'd be like, should shove a bar of soap in my mouth, right? Clean that dirty mouth out. That potty mouth's going to get clean. Well, this is how bad I was. One time, I don't know exactly what I was saying or doing, but I got the bar of soap in my mouth and I just bit a chunk out of it and chewed it up and spit it back. And that made her so mad that she just went and got the liquid soap because I couldn't bite that and chew it up. And I just got liquid soap. So, I mean, I fully deserved it. Whatever. I mean, I live fine. I finally quit farting bubbles. So we're good.
Yeah. I commend your mom for raising you for that.
Did you ever get soap like that?
Dude, I did the soap bar once. I actually think I might have
That was just a
that was
staple.
thing.
I was
yeah, it was a thing back
but I only
then.
think
Yeah.
I got it once, and I was like curious. Like I was honestly kind of more curious of like what soap would taste like, and like
You did it to yourself?
no, I didn't do it to myself, but like
You're,
I got
like,
in
in
trouble,
the
and I was like,
bathroom, you're, like,
it was like
licking
kind of a punishment. But you're like, oh, okay, like kind of learned what soap tastes like now. Wasn't that bad?
Yeah.
Was
I
it
mean,
bad? I didn't think.
it's chewable.
Yeah, I don't like why soap though.
Because you're cleaning out
So
your potty mouth.
Clean
That
dirty
doesn't
mouth.
even like make sense though.
Well, it doesn't now, but
As a kid.
Now you go to jail.
I don't know. There's probably some. I know. There's probably some commercial back in the 80s.
Wait, is this gluten free? My kid can only have gluten free soap. Just kidding.
I don't know. But that.
I mean, if they're celiac, then yeah.
Well, true. Yeah, that'd be a shame.
Yeah.
Dang.
It better be gluten-free soap if you're doing that.
And I was a terrible child, and I'd like to think that I got better.
That's something we need to hit on, Gabe. Do you have any questions for them when they have a kid? Anything off the top of your head? Because I feel like I'm like beaming with questions.
Well, then why don't you ask? You like are with us all the time.
Open conversation. How much battery we got left?
We've got
40%,
at least 40%.
Okay.
But yeah, you guys don't have a name, obviously, for the kid. We're not going to
name for the
bugging you
baby
on that. What kind of parents do you think? Who's going to be like the disciplinarian, and who's going to be the? I could see that. I could see Tiff being the disciplinarian.
Because Brandon's going to be a big old softy because it's a girl. If it was a boy, I think he'd be harder.
We'll play good cop, bad cop.
Good cop, bad cop.
And he will only see her like
we're doing good cop, bad cop.
little bit of the time because he'll be always fishing during the day. So it's like he'll be the favorite. Like I just see this rolling out how
She already knows the playbook.
I feel like I see it because I feel like this is how it was with me growing up. My dad was always working and my mom had to take all the brunt of all the discipline. And I mean, my dad disciplined us some, but.
Did your mom ever put soap in your mouth?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But not to the extent of that story.
Well, that's
because
probably because you didn't deserve the extent of it.
I mean, I probably did a few times actually, but I was the baby too, so I got a little bit of leniency.
Yeah.
You were a middle child.
You were always the one. I know exactly how this played out in your household. You egged on your brothers like to the point where they had no choice other than to just wrestle you down.
Actually, my brothers usually were doing that to each other, so I just watched.
But you would egg it on and you would jump in. I know exactly.
I usually just picked one and took a side.
You'd jump it in, and then something would happen. Yeah, she would escalate it, and then something would happen, and she'd run. Mom.
It had to be really serious, I feel like, to go to mom. I had to be
who else do you run to?
I would have to do that when dad was home because dad was more lenient with me and he was harder on my brother.
So you'd go to dad.
Oh, yeah.
Dad.
My mom would tell me to toughen up or something.
Yeah.
Why is it always Randy?
Oh, I don't know. I just imagine it was Randy. Yeah, well, I was going to go into the story. And long story short, I heard a story one time about Tiff that she was just not very nice and she deserved everything she got. Remember when you turned your mom in?
I mean, I don't remember this, but the story is I turned my mom in for child abuse.
Dang.
Because I hit my face on the bath faucet.
She was holding her parents hostage, her mom hostage technically there.
And so I came to school with black eyes and the school has to ask why. And I just said my mommy hit me. I didn't know. I was 4 years old.
She didn't understand the consequences that come with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I was in the courtroom stabbing my brother. So they dropped the charges.
Not with a knife.
No, with a pencil.
Oh, I was like, damn. Like this
4-year-old Tiff.
She just brought this up. No.
Yeah.
No.
So the judge was like,
it's like, this one's
He felt
obviously
like I
a little
didn't-
wild.
oh,
I
you're
make
good to
sense
go.
now.
I mean, I had to be like somewhat feisty. I had 2 older brothers.
So that's what you have to look forward to when our daughter comes.
She's,
I hope
You're gonna be
cancel out.
pencil just
jabbed.
Yeah.
Dang. I honestly need to brush up on some daycare skills.
Yeah. You got any more questions? You said you were like,
I have a lot.
full.
Like, there's just like,
Have you been like
Or you
taking
just
notes in
saving
your
them?
journal?
I'm just like, cause like people are like, do you know what's going to happen? I'm like, yeah, obviously there's going to be a little one running around here. Tiff. Now
Not
I
at
know,
first.
I kind of figured Tiff was going to be disciplinarian. Like she's like, like, especially in that situation, you're kind of a softie on that. I'm not going to lie.
It's true.
It's like a smaller version of me. I feel like Tiff keeps me in line. Brandon's just like, stay motivated. Smart. It's good.
Yeah.
Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah. Play it well.
Do you have any questions, Gabe?
I think I'm good.
No
on that
questions.
end. Yeah, on that end at least,
Okay.
you know.
I got you.
He's like, let's talk about fishing.
No.
Forget about babies.
No, I mean, I'm perfectly fine with it.
Yeah. We'll save questions for another time too.
Okay.
We'll have
Sounds
like
good.
a dedicated podcast when the baby is here.
But on the other hand, I am excited for y'all. So
Thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have lots.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure that you probably have lots of questions of like how it's going to all run down. We just kind of
But we don't really know.
Yeah.
The whole thing's kind of a question. I mean, I know it's mine, but beyond that,
Wow. Glad you're confident.
I am. That's what I just said. Like, I'm not questioning that. I mean, I have questions, but not that.
God. Sounds so
The,
bad.
the real question is when baby is of fishing age, will the baby be able to outfish me from
Yes.
the get-go just because of genes and everything? Or do you think I have a shot?
I think the baby will outfish you because you need a lot of work.
I think by
That's
2 or 3, she'll probably have you.
Dang, that's brutal.
So you have a few years to, continue to elevate.
What if she picks up a rod and she's like instantly like a frog guru?
Just skipping cypress trees.
And she just sees like a drop shot and she's like, nah. You're like, that's not my child.
She sees a frog.
Ooh, it's like the Mandalorian.
You just never know. She might not like fishing at all.
No, 100%.
It's true.
Because sometimes when you're engulfed in a lifestyle like this,
Yeah. You see it for like a lot. It's like growing up with it. Kids that are like prodigies that like live in a thing, they end up like not being.
When they
around it.
resent it because they
Don't get to be a kid.
they feel like they're not getting to go do what they want to do,
Yeah.
it's
but not seeing they don't see the opportunities that it gives them. They just see like negative, I
Yeah.
guess, kind of, because they want to go do something else. And then a lot of times it comes full circle.
True.
Tiff used to hate fishing. Hated it.
I loved it as a kid, actually. My teenage years is when I decided I had better things to be doing.
Dang.
I remember,
And I did not like it. I always said to my dad when I met Brandon that it was karma because I gave my dad such a hard time when he would make me go on fishing trips.
Now you're stuck on a giant fishing trip for 8 months.
for the rest of
Yeah,
her life.
for the rest of my life. But
Forever.
In my-
Forever.
in my defense, we were on Door Shack and it was raining, stormy all weekend, and I had to sleep on the boat on the floor. My parents said I wasn't on the floor. I slept on the floor with the dog, and it was like kind of a miserable weekend. And when you think that all your friends are doing all these fun things back home, you want to be home. You think it's punishment. But
Sure.
now I would do it.
The thing
And that
is,
was trolling for fishing, so it's
fishing's,
slower.
fishing's, this is my assumption on fishing because I did the same as a young kid and I did not like fishing. We weren't catching fish.
Yeah.
If you're
That
catching
makes a big
fish,
difference.
it is epic. When
Yeah.
you're not catching fish and you're a kid, you're just like, oh my gosh, what snacks? That makes a lot of sense now.
It's snacks. It is. It's
That's
all
why you
about-
don't start kids out bass fishing.
Exactly.
No,
you
but
look for snacks either way,
Yeah.
no matter what you do.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, but it's habit for him. He gets on the boat and he's like, what are them snacks?
Yeah.
I'm not going to catch a bass. What are them snacks?
Man.
Or
Did you?
miss a hook set.
Oh, don't even. Day one of this tournament. Don't. Yeah, we're not going to get into that. Gabe, did you have anything growing up that you like gravitated towards?
Oh, that's a good question.
Bass fishing.
Really growing up, it was kind of all thrown out there all at once, because when you're starting out young and you're like looking at everything like kind of what you want to do with your life. I had actually really gotten into bass fishing, and it actually did not start with bass fishing. We had actually started saltwater fishing, and I remember watching the Sportsman Channel, just all the red
Mhm.
fishing, and I wanted to catch a redfish so bad. So then we
Yeah.
started fishing a little bit, and I ended up catching a sea trout the first ever time I go. And I didn't even know what it was at the time.
Yeah.
And then it kind of worked its way into the flounders and then the redfish. And then I kind of got off fishing for a while when I first started wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
So I got pretty dedicated at that. And then I'd say about my junior year of high school is actually whenever we moved out to my property now with the 2 ponds.
Yep.
And that's when I caught my first bass.
Yeah.
So ever since then, it's just
Love at
kind of
first
been,
sight.
yeah, it's just kind of been downhill slide.
It's an addiction.
it's a very big addiction.
See, if you wouldn't have ever taken that break from your original saltwater fishing, you probably never would have fell in love with bass fishing as much.
Exactly.
It's hard to get away from saltwater fishing.
Dude,
It looks cool.
It's addicting.
I want to do it so bad. I just don't have the boat to do it because
Yeah.
I do not want to take my bass boat out there in that salt, especially like down there where we're at, and like Debadoo and Merle's Inlet, straight salt.
Oh, it's brutal.
Yeah.
I remember when we fished the Winyah Bay tournament, I was flushing my motor every day
Oh,
because I was running.
because it'll corrode and do all the nasty
Yeah,
stuff
you
to
don't
the
want all
metal.
that
And,
salt just sitting in your motor.
true.
And I was running the intercoastal for over an hour.
Just sucking up. Yeah.
Especially
Weird.
right there in Charleston Harbor.
Oh yeah,
It's this straight blue salt right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just,
straight salt. Like you just see, it's like the salt water gets all the bubbles, like the white
Yeah.
bubbles on top. You just look back in your boat trail and the bubble trail and just be like white.
Dang.
Like, you could taste it.
Just from like in the
The
air.
splash,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the splash, and like your skin like almost gets tacky
Yeah.
feeling like from running the boat in the mornings. You could feel it, and
Yeah.
it would dry on your skin. And you'd be like all little white crystally,
I love that.
salty.
I love the salt water.
Yeah,
It's a good thing.
you got a little beach bum in you.
Yeah. What's both all you guys actually? Another question. What's your favorite place you've ever fished in your life? Lake, ocean, wherever.
I'll let him go first. He's fished a lot more places than I
That makes
have.
it even more difficult.
Well, I can start it off. I don't mind.
Go ahead, hit him.
Actually, Kiwi. I
Okay.
loved Kiwi because it's
South Carolina kiwi.
South Carolina Kiwi.
Wow.
That's just me.
Was
I
it
like
the experience or the actual? What?
it was more so because of the action.
Okay.
It's just overrun with spots pretty much, and I just caught so many that day. It was just fun. Now, if I had to choose like a big hitter place, it would be here, St. Cooper. But just going out and having fun, just trying to get back into it, it would be Kiwi.
Gotcha.
Tiff, where's yours?
Trying to think of
Where's it?
Or was it is there a time you can think of? If you
for
don't remember
bass
the
fishing.
lake, any kind of fishing.
I might need a minute.
Okay.
I say we defer
have-
to Vandy Hammer over
I
here.
have many. Yeah, we can go to Vandy Hammer.
I don't even know. I mean, they only let me fish on like one lake I've been to so far.
Funny.
No, honestly, I don't know.
I'd say you've watched enough. You can almost decide on what you would want to do.
Yeah, I think my like favorite place I'd ever want to fish would be, probably St. Lawrence.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's really cool. I think my favorite time fishing in general with you guys was probably that first time in Oneida.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. That
That
was
was
just
fun.
a cool night.
That was fun.
Oh yeah.
Catch them on top water and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was a good night.
Yeah.
It's always the experience. You have it?
I
You-
think I have a few different ones. Does that count?
Sure.
So my frog fish when we were with DQ.
Oh, yeah. That was cool. Someone knocking
Yeah,
on the door?
someone's at our door.
Oh, Kyle will go get it. Being
My-
interrupted. We're in the campground, so.
My whitefish, spooning for whitefish,
White bass.
white bass.
Yep. That was our buckle.
Yeah.
I don't remember what lake we were on with DQ, but Tiff caught the biggest frogfish, her first frogfish.
After complaining because I didn't know how to work a frog, but I finally figured it out and it was a really cool bite. And then saltwater would be probably Homer, Alaska, because we were like
Yeah.
pulling up halibut every cast.
Yeah. That's a pretty good one. I don't know what he's doing. I was going to wait for
Bella's back at the
Kyle
door
to get
now.
back. Well, I don't think she left the door.
Yeah, she was
No,
laying
she
down.
was laying
Oh.
down.
No one
Sure.
was anyone there?
No. Okay. Sure, Bella, you can come in. Let her in. We're almost done anyways. She can come in, make an appearance. Usually she hops up here and tries to sit between me and Tiff, but she doesn't need to right now. We got too many cords going on.
Yeah.
She's gonna
She's gonna try.
she's gonna get tangled up. I don't think it's gonna work. So Tiff gave a couple. I think one of my favorite ones.
What? Oh,
What, you got another one?
go ahead. No, I was gonna help you, but
No, I was gonna say Crystal Lake when the three of us went up there
That was cool.
and stayed.
Except I was more of a gatherer, and you guys were the hunter fishermen.
I know. Just fell into our roles. That was fun. Remember when we went to Crystal Lake and we shot all those photos?
That was really cool.
Except that
and we were
you
catching the trout.
Yeah.
Remember he was going to sleep in the hammock?
Yeah, and he
that
froze.
was, dude, yeah.
He ended up sleeping on the ground.
That was a crazy. Yeah. That was fun. That was gorgeous there.
I know.
Those are one of those camping things where you're like, I think I got sleep last night, but I don't know.
Yeah. That was fun. It was a quick trip, but I think just the experience of that was, I don't know.
We got to do
just
that
a
again.
beautiful place. And,
Costa Rica fishing trip.
and we had the whole lake to ourselves. It was just quiet.
Yeah.
It's nice.
The bite experience of you like in Costa Rica fishing.
Seeing
was
Brandon like
cool.
a child.
Yeah, like seeing him eat topwater.
Yeah, I mean,
saltwater
that was
fishing.
cool. Lake Biwa, that was super cool.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was awesome.
What about Thailand? Was that cool?
Thailand, the little like farm pond thing we fished.
That
was
said it had like time frames of when like the fishing was good, okay, bad, and we went extremely bad time frame. And Brandon's like, I got this.
we got this. We were like trying to catch some weird
And the hooks were
exotic
rusty.
catfish. Yeah, the
Oh,
whole equipment thing, everything was just terrible. But it was kind of cool. Like
It
it was
was
just me
fun.
and Tiff. There was no one else there. Just like in this little ghetto hut in the middle of that was in Bai.
Pie?
I think it's pronounced Bai.
Pie. P-A-I.
But
I
it's
think it's
pronounced
pronounced
by.
Really?
Pie.
I've been pronouncing it wrong for like the last 5 years.
Yeah, that's why they get
I
yellow.
thought you taught us that.
No.
Or was it Tracy that might have taught us that?
I know all the. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know.
a cool
Well, we
place.
might have to look that up.
Yeah.
But it was cool. Did you ever go to that
Yep, the drive up.
lookout?
Yep.
You drive up the mountain.
pass.
And go.
I
up
drove
to the
that whole
place.
like loop. It's pretty cool. The
Dang.
San. What is it? San Ho loop.
Yeah, there was like a little overlook. I made Tiff get up and we went and watched the sunrise.
Did you take scooters?
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
a scooter.
Yeah.
We rode double.
Yeah, that's got to be fun.
Yeah.
125 cc's of fury going up that pass.
Straight Yamaha.
Oh
just
yeah, you
getting it.
You were brand loyal.
Dang right. I
Look
wasn't
at
gonna. You think I was gonna risk
Did you-
our lives in Thailand driving something else?
Did you get off at the top and you're like, I just want to thank my sponsors for getting me to the top of this hill.
No.
I really pinned that Yamaha all the way up the hill. All 125 cc's got me here. That's really the reason I made it. And people are
No.
like, what is this guy from America talking about?
But I did. There was something about the reliability. I was like, I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll take that blue one over there.
Oh, I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm. It was nice.
They're good bikes.
Made for a good photo op too.
There you go.
That was
Squ-
awesome.
Squad, yeah.
Yeah, we've been in a lot of cool places. China fishing was super cool.
That's
It's
pretty cool.
interesting.
Just to see the difference of like, that's like Japan seeing that. Just the difference of like same but different in
Mhm.
their own way.
Yeah.
And it's like if you did it the way you do in America, it's like not frowned upon, but it's like it's so different from them and you know, and the
Uh-huh.
curiosity, it's just like those little tiny things that you don't notice if it's a bait or the way they fish, which is
Yeah.
cool. I'm sure that's in China also.
When China was like farm ponds.
Oh,
like,
really?
You fished in farming ponds that they farmed bass to eat
Do they have like natural lakes that they fish
Yeah.
out of still?
in the
Okay.
mountains and stuff. They
Okay.
do, but they don't get fished a lot. It's not like
Yeah.
Japan where it's
Yeah.
bass
Super
fishing is a
pressured.
huge sport.
Yeah.
But they do eat them.
We
They have the farm ponds but they're super pressured.
Yeah.
Right? So the techniques were crazy,
Yeah.
different, and it's so expensive to own like a truck or a boat, and so they have like just these little tiny boats that they rent at those places, and it's pretty much like you bring a battery, bring a trolling motor, strap it on, like you pack it out of your car, and so like, all the rods are like 610 and under. Like I was punching with a 610,
dang.
but it's like a 610 extra heavy.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like a
with a little
stick.
light tip, and then just goes straight backbone.
Dang.
But, you know, like all those experiences are cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's not always the biggest fish catches or things like that. It's all of the things that make it make it special.
It's the experience, the wholesomeness, like just real.
It's the people, it's the culture, it's all that makes it really cool. So I enjoy it. I think we're gonna wrap this one up. Got any Got any life experience? Like, what would you leave the people with, Gabe?
Drop some knowledge on us.
Anything in your, 23, 24 years of life?
24 now.
24
that
years
was,
of life.
Classic, actually.
Yeah.
24,
Oh, yeah. It was your, what was that?
24th birthday.
Wednesday, Thursday night?
Thursday.
Thursday night.
Thursday night.
Thursday night.
Yep.
I guess, especially if you're boating out here, use common sense.
Common sense boating.
Because I've seen it more times than not, just
This is
people,
a place. That's coming from your local boat mechanic.
Yeah. That is
you act stupid on the water, you just pay stupid prices, man. It's just...
It all makes sense why you say you would have to be shot to let me drive your boat.
Oh, yes, especially out here.
Good point.
Did you see some of the widow makers out there, though?
Oh, yeah. On our little run, I noticed 2.
Oh, yeah.
The guy in the blue aluminum boat from Harris Chain still got it coming.
Yo, man. Yeah, that was
You sounded Canadian there.
Well,
me.
Man.
yeah, who knows? That was a good one. Use common sense, people, in your daily lives. Appreciate you guys listening. We may knock out another one or two today. I don't know. We're going to take a little break, but appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Got some stuff to get ready also for day 3/4 tomorrow. We got a shootout.
I'm excited. I'm ready for
I
it.
know. It's going to be fun. So appreciate you guys. Hopefully we go win $100,000 tomorrow and another blue trophy. See ya.